when we mark the close of 2025. Today, the Commission will give an update on the progress of our preparation for the 2026 general elections and guide the country in the expected conduct by all stakeholders as we enter into the new year and the final lap of the general elections program. First, we wish to express our deep gratitude for the support by the various stakeholders which has brought us this far in the implementation of the roadmap for the general election. We wish to appreciate the government of Uganda for providing funding towards the activities executed. We also appreciate the support of Parliament in allocating the required funds and also the enabling legal framework within which we are operating. The Commission further appreciates all political parties and organizations which supported the mobilization of the electorate to participate in the activities we have undertaken this year. These include the update of the National Voters Register, the display of the said register, nomination of candidates, and the ongoing campaign. We wish to further appreciate the media for offering the media through which we disseminate electoral information and voter education. The role of civil society and religious institutions, traditional institutions, and the business community has been pivotal in getting us to this point. The Commission also extends appreciation to the security agencies for ensuring an enabling environment where electoral activities be and have been conducted. The Commission has also noted a growing practice of sharing particulars of individuals who are deemed to be wrongly included in the voters register. The Commission wishes to add that any complaint about the content of the voters register should be directly addressed to the Commission through its established offices to avoid causing alarm by sharing unfounded and unverified information, which could constitute misinformation, disinformation, and fake news. Further, in compliance with the data protection and privacy laws, we urge any concerned person not to publish the photographs or personal details of any alleged questionable voters. We advise all stakeholders to refrain from sharing individuals' personal voter information on social media without his or her consent, as this violates private laws. The Commission also wishes to inform the country that we started receiving consignments for ballot papers and the declaration of results forms for the general election. These were received from the contracted security operators abroad to ensure readiness for polling. To date, the following categories of ballot papers have been received and are currently in our warehouses: presidential ballot papers, directly elected member of parliament ballot papers, and district woman representative parliament ballot papers. The receipt of the above election materials was witnessed by representatives of presidential candidates and political parties, those who gathered to turn, as well as members of the media and the accredited election observers. Further, the Commission has completed the packing of generic materials and commenced on the non-generic materials. The generic materials include the following items: pens, strings, stamp pads, polythene sheets, rubber bands, ink pads, election forms, report forms, oath forms, official report books, aprons, tamper-proof evident envelopes, indelible mark pens, etc., etc. The dispatch of the transparent ballot boxes, the cordoning tapes, the basics, and solar lamps has already commenced to all the districts or cities. The Commission has also commenced packing of the National Voters Register and the ballot papers for each respective polling station before dispatch for polling day for presidential and parliamentary elections. Public warning. The Electoral Commission has become aware of a website operating under the name www.register.ugtani.com, which is reportedly operated by an entity known as Funnel. The website is being promoted as a platform to assist members of the public in locating their voter registration details and polling stations. While Fanon has publicly stated that it is not affiliated with the Electoral Commission or any political party and claims its role is purely civic, that is, promote voter participation and support a free and fair electoral process, the Electoral Commission wishes to categorically inform the public that that website is not authorized and is not affiliated with the Electoral Commission. Further, Fanon has never applied nor accredited as the Voter Education Civil Society Organization. In addition, the role of setting up systems that enable voters to digitally locate and ascertain their voting location lies with the Electoral Commission and not any other entity or individual. The public is, therefore, hereby strongly cautioned that the said unauthorized website may contain misleading or inaccurate information and may pose risks to users who interact with it. Members of the public are advised not to visit that website, but submit personal information or engage with services. The Electoral Commission shall not be held responsible for how any information submitted to or accessed through the same website is used. The Electoral Commission, as we all know, is established under Article 6 of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and is mandated under Article 61 to compile, maintain, revise, and update the National Voters Register. The mandate, as you can see, is exclusive to the Electoral Commission and is not shared by any individual. Therefore, any unauthorized access, posting, use, or purported distribution of voter registration data constitutes an offense and is punishable under the law. Members of the public are strongly urged and encouraged to use only the official and Electoral Commission website, that is www.ec.or.ug/register, to verify their voter registration particulars and polling station information. This warning is issued in the public interest to protect citizens and prevent confusion, misuse of personal data, or other potential harm. The Electoral Commission has formally written to the Uganda Communications Commission seeking guidance on the appropriate action to be taken in respect of this matter. Issuance of copies of the voters' register. In accordance with Section 19 of the Electoral Commission Act, the Commission will issue a hard copy of the photo bearing National Voters Register to each of the candidates contesting in the 2026 presidential elections. The National Voters Register bears the names of all the 21,681,491 registered voters, arranged alphabetically by surname at each of the 50,739 polling stations in the country. The purpose of issuing this voters register is to enable the candidates, through their official agents, to ensure that only eligible persons are allowed to vote on polling day, and only at the polling station where they are registered as voters. Secondly, the issuance of the register will help to keep the candidates and other stakeholders, including the electorate, updated on the status of registered voters and their voting locations. Please note that the Electoral Commission already issued the soft copies of the National Voters Register to the presidential candidates as provided for in Section 19 of the Electoral Commission Act. This issuance should therefore put to rest any concerns among stakeholders about the readiness of the National Voters Register for the 2026 general election. The Electoral Commission urges all candidates to mobilize their supporters who are registered voters to prepare to vote on polling day. The Commission has already clarified that this register, which bears the photographs of the voters, shall be the basis for voting during the 2026 general election. Therefore, all those persons whose particulars and photographs appear on the voters register shall be eligible to vote at the polling station where they are registered, whether they have a national ID or not. Constituency voters registers are also available for other political parties or candidates on application through the Secretary, Electoral Commission, and on payment of the relevant fee. In conclusion, as the country enters the final weeks of the campaign period, the Commission appeals to all candidates, political parties, agents, and supporters to follow the law and the guidelines issued by the Electoral Commission regarding the manner, mode, and location of campaigns by the various candidates. And we also ask them to exercise restraint, and uphold the peace, tolerance, and respect for the rule of law. Peaceful conduct before, during, and after polling is essential for credible elections and national stability. The Electoral Commission assures the public of its unwavering commitment to deliver free, fair, credible, and transparent elections in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Uganda. We urge candidates at all levels to prevail upon their supporters and agents to desist from any action that may lead to disruption of public order, and to always use peaceful means to express their views. We further call for a tolerant approach to political debate, use civil language, so that we have peaceful, free, and fair elections. The other matter maybe I should highlight that is ongoing is the issuance of the voter application slip. As we addressed the country last time, this process is ongoing and is supposed or is expected to be concluded around 13th of January. We want to urge the public, those who have not yet secured or obtained their voter application slips, to do so. And I emphasize, these slips are for the good of the voter, to enable him or her establish or know where to go on polling day. And secondly, the voter slip has a barcode. That barcode will be useful in the identification process using the new kit that we're going to use, which we, the media, which was whose usability was demonstrated to the media the other day on these very grounds. So that voter education slip has that background, and to fasten or quicken or expedite the process of identifying the voter who comes with it, so that he can be subjected to biometric identification process using the kit at the polling station. As we usher in the new year, fellow citizens, the Commission extends its best wishes to all Ugandans and calls upon every citizen to play their part in ensuring a peaceful and successful electoral process. I say all this for God and my country. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you very
much. Thank you very much, Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission. As the Chair was giving the statement, the Commission became a full complement with all the other members that had not arrived, who were doing other work outside the building. And I would like to recognize the presence of Commissioner Honorable Anthony Okero and Commissioner Honorable Stephen Tashobia. So as you see now, the commission, what we call the commission, what is the commission in the law, is now complete here before you. Lord Chair, there is a public demand that you summarize in Uganda before you take questions, so that they also, there are some who don't know what was being said, who understand Uganda. No, the ones who are following, the people who are following online. so that at that point you'll be able to take questions both in Uganda and in English, and the people who are following in Uganda will also know what the chairperson and the commission is saying on this very important day with this important message. Thank you, sir.
Offices zaffe on 7th Street. Olukungaana luno lwaluyise okusobola okutegeeza Abannayuganda wabwe tutuuse mu nteekateeka y'okulonda kwa 2006. Nga bwe tuzze tulambika, sooka twagala kwebaza abo bonna abawagidde emirimu gy'akakiiko by'okulonda nga bagondera kiki byetugamba birina okukolebwa ate nga gabikolera okutuuka nga bagomba kugasinzira mu mateeka. Baagala n'okwebaza gavumenti ya Uganda ekuwadde ssente zonna zetwetaaga okukozesa oba okutambuza emirimu by'okulonda. Baagala okwebaza n'ebibiina by'obufuzi nakyewa ebikoleddwa mu kakiiko okulaba nti byetwakakola byonna bituukirizibwa, naddala okutereeza enkalala z'abalonzi obaregista, okuzitimba eby'abantu n'okusunsulwamu okw'esimbi oba nomination na campaigns kati zigenda mu maaso. Twagala kubeebaza n'abamawulire mwe muzindaalo gwaffe n'eddoboozi lyaffe ntuyisiza bye tugamba ntegeeza Bannayuganda ekyebigenda mu maaso. Twagala kwebaza n'ebitongole by'okwerinda abakoze kyonna ekisoboka okulaba nti embeera eri mu ggwanga ya mirembe ate ng'esobozesa ebyokulonda okutambula obulungi. Twagala kwebaza n'abastaff ba Electoral Commission bakoledde ddala omulimu munene era kati bakyakola, era basinga obungi tebaali mu Christmas, baali mu maofiisi oba mu bifo by'enjawulo nga bagezaako okulaba nti ebintu bikolebwa mu bukki. Naye twagala okutegeeza Bannayuganda ku wetuyimiridde wetwogerera twakamaliza okuwandiisa abagenda kukola ku lunaku lw'okulonda polling station zonna zeggwanga tugeza tubayigiriza watubadde tubalaga tubayigiriza biki bye balina okukola ku lunaku olw'olulimi okulaba nti akalulu kajja kubeera kamuzima obwekali abo bonna bagala okuba nti observers mu kulonda babavudde bweru e Uganda obali munda mu Uganda n'ogwo omulimu okugutambuza era abantu bangi bakatuwandiikira nga balaga nti baagala tubawe permission oba accreditation okujja okubeera ku kulonda nga bwe tubadde tutegeeza eggwanga okuviira ddala mwezi gw'omwenda commission ebadde ewulira emisango oba okwemulugunya okuva mu bitundu bitalimu byenjawulo by'eggwanga ebyava mu kusunsulamu kwaba abesimbyewo ensonga zino netwogera kati nnyingi zetumaze okusala naye waliwo nabamu kati batugenda okuwulira wetuva wano kati okwemulugunya tukyagenda mu maaso bikwata ku ebiseera bya campaign campaign zigenda mu maaso ku beesimbyewo ku ba president ba members of parliament na gavumenti z'ebitundu twagala okukubiriza abo bonna abeenyigidde mu campaign nti mugondere amateeka mugondere biki akakiiko ke byeteekawo twateekawo ebirina okugobererwa nga muli mu campaign oba mutambuza campaign zammwe njagala kukakasa nti etteeka erikwata ku nkozesa ya kuuma tulirina minisita yamaze oliteekako omukono yalitaddeko omukono ennaku 24 omwezi gwa12 kati liriteeka akuuma kano engeri gyagenda kukozesebwa okuviira ddala ku eddaala erisooka eryokubiri eryokusatu mpaka kutuuka ku kiri mu mateeka era tulina jakuba tuli bategeeza akuuma kagenda kukozesebwa njagala kikati akuuma kagenda okukozesebwa ku buli polling station okukakasa ddala gundi mulonzi mutuufu wa polling station walondera naye waliwo ebitusanze ate ebitatusanyusiza waliwo guno mukutu gwateekebwawo baguyita kwa fano bagamba nti bataddeko mukutu ogusoosesa buli munnayuganda okumanya okutegeera mukifo ki n'ebirala naffe tugamba nti omukutu ogwo teguliiwo mu mateeka ko mukulawuka kubanga obuyinza obusobozi oba omulimu ogukwata ku okutereeza enkala z'abalonzi oba national voters register okutegeeza abantu nti regisa yiino olondera kifo kino obwo buyinza bwakakiiko ku byokulonda kusinzira mu ssemateeka teri muntu mulala yenna oba kitongole kyonna ekiwereddwa obuyinza ogamba nti tujje tubalage omugenda okulondera obuyinza obwo bwakakiiko byokulonda era twamaze okuwandiikira Uganda Communications Commission nga tubategeeza nti kino ekitongole oba kibiina kiba kiki fano abagamba nti kakola omulimu gw'akakiiko ate ffe tetubamanyi mukitunuuliremu kozesa amateeka okulaba nti bebakola kubanga bayinza obaweereza information etali ntuufu ne bakyankalanya ensi bayinza ogamba nti kakati ekifo kino abalonzi bonna babagjeewo so nga tisikituufu byonna bikwata ku regisita mubuuze akakiiko kebyokulonda era naffe twateekako mukutu omusobola okutegeerera nti tulondera wano nga bwe twategeeza eggwanga tulitumba amawulire bakafunako obululu okuva ebweru bwebabukubira oba abeesimbyewo ku kifo kibwa president, abeesimbyewo ku bwa member of parliament constituency, na abeesimbyewo ku kiikirira abakyala parliament. Twabayita b'amawulire ku kisaawe ky'ennyonyi Entebbe, era ne mulaba obululu obwo bwali kutuusibwa. Kati tuwulina era tumuteekateeka okulaba nti tuwuteeka mu bokisi tusobole okutambuzibwa ogenda mu districts okulonda tekunatuuka. Era twatandise okulaba nti ebintu ebirala byetaagisibwa nabyo tubiteekateeka bitambulire wamu n'obululu. Yes, ebikwata ku register ng'amateeka bwe gatulagira, batandise tugenda kuwa aba presidential candidates register eggwanga lyonna ng'erimu ebifaananyi by'abalonzi, amannya n'ebirala bibakwatako, basobole okwetegekera okulonda kwa 2025 ng'ennaku 15 mwezi gwa January. Baweereze ba agents baabwe buli polling station bamuwe kopi ya register ekwata ku balonzi ba polling station. Kisobozese ba agents okukakasa nti ddala omulonzi ono yakuze wano mu register, mwali mu register ya polling station oba nga bwe twategeeza eggwanga register yaffe kati tuwezezza abalonzi obukadde 21,689 be balonzi bali ku register. Ate abo ne tubasaasaanya mu polling station 5,739 mu ggwanga lyonna. Olwekyo register eno twatandise tugenda register eno tuli mu kaweefube okugiwoleza kwa president candidate. N'ekiro ekyagenda mu maaso okukaba obukooli nga voter allocation slips zinaasobozesa abalonzi okumanya wawe bagenda kulonda oluggi, balina kwetoola nga bagenda wali n'eri nedda. Ate akakonga ako kageza kweyambisibwa bakutaddeko tebayita barcode oba akantu akasobola okumanyirirwa akuuma kali kagenda kubeera polling station, nekisobosa okwangulira omulimu gw'okumanyirira obukakasa abalonzi abalonzi. Ate bikwata ku akuuma kagenda kukola ku polling station. Teri mulonzi agenda kuweebwa akalulu katamaze okukakasibwa mukuubu nti mulonzi ddala. Nakozesa ekikumu kigaana nga bakuba gombi kifaananyi ekyenyi oba feesi. Nga tumaliriza tukubiriza abo bonna abenyigidde mu campaign mugondere amateeka, mugondere akakiiko kibagambye kituyise guidelines zikwata ku ngeri gimulina okukolamu campaign. Temuteeka bivolo mu makubo, temutaataaganya ebintu by'Abannayuganda bano gye bakola kubanga oli mu campaigns oba tubakubiriza mukuume emirembe, mukuume obuntubulamu, ate twagale eggwanga lyaffe tuleme okuteeka ku bunkenke n'okuba nti tuli mu campaign. Ffe nga akakiiko tweyamye era twewaddeyo okulaba nti tukola kyonna ekisoboka nga bwe twetaagisa okusinziira mu mateeka, akalulu kano kabeere k'amazima obwenkanya ate nga keemerera. Tusaba abo bonna beesimbyewo okwewala okukola ebikolwa okuteekako embeera oba ebikolwa ebinaaleetawo okweraliikirira oba akacyankalano mu ggwanga lyaffe. Ate tubasaba temukozesa olulimi olukyamu, olulimi olwawula amawanga, olulimi olukumawo abantu omuliro, olulimi oluleeta abantu kweraliikirira, okuvuma kandidate muno. Ebyo byonna mu byewale akalulu kaffe kasobole okubeera nti buli omu akeeyagalira. nga tuyingira omwaka omupya njagala kwebaza bannayuganda bonna ababadde wamu n'akakiiko by'okulonda omwaka guno, era mujjukire nti katusigaza ennaku nga buli lumu oba bbiri okumaliriza kyetwatandika nga tutandika phase 1 oba okulonda okusooka kwa president, members of parliament ennaku 15. Mbaagaliza mwenna omwaka omupya ogw'emirembe n'emikisa gya Mukama. Let me first say this in English. The regulations concerning the use of biometric voter verification are here. Statutory Instrument number 98 of 2025, signed or made by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs as authorized under the law. It contains essentially how this machine is going to be used or applied at a polling station, at every polling station. Kiraga emitendera, ekiragiro kino kiraga emitendera oba stages ezirina okugobererwa ku polling station nga kuuma kano kakozesebwa. Ekisooka, omulonzi watuuka ku polling station ng'alina endagamuntu oba kakonge, akakonge ako n'endagamuntu kaliko gundi ngeri ebyuma bya kalimagezi, akuuma kali kasobola okumanyiira voter slip ebikwata ku mulonzi ne bivaayo olwo ne bikikakasidwa nti mulonzi we. Ekyokubiri, ekyo kimala kakasibwa nti ddala oli mulonzi polling station, kati operator agamba teeka ekinku kukuuma, obeera ddala yegwe kennyini ekinku mukyokiraga bulungi, era kyo akuuma kagenda kakasa nti yeeyo mwami gundi oba omulonzi gundi yazzewa. Ekyokusaba, bw'omaze kakasira nti gwe mulonzi we, presiding officer agenda kujjayo akalu wa ballot papers kubanga kati ennaku 15 obupapula bugenda kubeera 3, ballot papers genda kubeera 3. President ne mu parliament nkiriza wabakyala. Obupapula butumanako okukwasa bulina okusooka okukakasibwako omakana bagenda okuyisaako kibayita scanning oluzo. Newakuba omulonzi n'okugenda wali mu pesini yaffe n'otiikinga oba n'oteekako ekinkumu n'oleka obuteeka mu box ya president agenda kwa president. Okiikiza abakyala box ya bakyala. Constituency member of parliament box ya constituency. Then n'otambula n'ogenda n'okuteekako obuliiko bakyala kulaga. Then ekiseera okinaakuuka ekyokugala obulungu bonna bagenda kuwuta mu box babuliro wansi ku kiveera naye nga tebannabbuba tulina presiding officer ne banne bajja kusooka bakakase nti obupapula buno bwe tugenda okubala butuufu obubadde mu box butuufu. Bajja kujjamu babukakase kuuma kano oba busikandinge ako konna akapapula oba ballot paper ekakakasiddwa kuuma kano tugenda kukiza ku bbali. Obugenda okubalibwa obwo bwokka obunaakakasidwa akuuma kano. Those are the only ballot papers that are going to be counted. Those which have been confirmed or verified by the biometric. Any ballot paper which might have been introduced in the box without having gone through the first stage of scanning before giving to the board will not escape the scrutiny before counting. So that's what I want to clarify. So take a tulina, the law is here, and we are going to follow that law strictly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lord Chair, we shall now take questions. You come here. You can line up. Not for voting, but just line up. You say your name and the media house so that they see who is asking them.
Okay, Michael, my name is Raymond Tamale. I work with NTV. I have a number of questions. Not one, not two. Let us speak about disqualification and been going on for different candidates, which seems to be not from me, but from other parties seem to be biased. Why am I saying this? Because disqualification is going on. Other parties say is only in favor of the main party. On that, do you feel like, because you've seen people from NUP, people from FBC saying that this qualification is going on, is painting a picture. Even the person from NRM, Question 64, who said that with the qualification going on for different candidates, they don't feel like the electoral commission will deliver a free and fair election. And then, how many people are being disqualified? Just to say that the commission is still being disqualified so far, how many people are being disqualified, and how many have been declared unopposed? On polling day 15 next month, the CPF came and said people should vote and go back home. The attorney general came out in parliament and said we should stay 20 meters away from the polling area. As the electoral commission, what's the stand of this? And also, what is the picture that you have as Justice Yabatamba on polling day? As we're standing here, how is it going to be paint us a picture for us? And then, in regards to elections, do you feel like there has been enough sensitization in regards to electoral commission for people to understand that the voting is going to take place? Why am I saying this? Is because people have punched holes this time around in voter education from the electoral commission, which is done, which is not compared to 2021 as it was. Last year, I was around. There were trucks that were having flyers and banners. This time around, it seems like it's not been done. Speaking about biometrics, that's my last question. Hypothetically speaking, on voting day, if the machine fails to work, what remedy do you have? Because remember the polling, voting ends at 4 p.m. What remedy have you taken place as a electoral commission to ensure that the voting goes on besides the machine is going down? Thank you so much.
Raymond, you are the exception because you ask questions, but the rest will not be making long statements and treaties.
Yes. Thank you. My name is Hussein Samuel. I work with the Government. My question is, what is about the electoral commission adoption and manner of use of biometric voter verification system regulation 2025 by the Ministry of Justice and Consular Affairs? From the best of my knowledge, the minister says he made this regulation in accordance with the Electoral Commission Act. And the section 12, subsection 1 of the Electoral Commission Act, if I read very well, says that the commission may, while doing its duties, apply the use of technology, may, we did say shall. We spoke to a number of MPs from opposition, and then they told us this act has never been amended to make it mandatory for each seat to use this technology. So a minister coming up 2 weeks to the court and bring a regulation based on this act, we are wondering if the EC colliding with the minister to impose an illegal law on Ugandans. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Matty Drake from Photo Source News Agents, to Explore Africa magazine. My question is Photo Source News Agents, Explore Africa magazine. My question is, who is eligible voter? In case someone has lost his ID before the voting day, is he allowed to vote? In case if he has his name number Is he eligible? Thank you.
Good morning. I am Aloysius Biankama. I'm from Mama Efe. In your statements, you praised the government for giving you all the monies. Maybe you may need to remind us how much did you request? How much have you been given? Maybe and how have you used it? Then you have been telling us or warning candidates how they should use, how they should behave in these campaigns. And one of the most things you said, they shouldn't block roads. And one of the candidates for NRM, that is Joel Museveni, has been seen actually seated in the road or on the road. I don't know the correct term there. So what do you say? Actually, all other campaigns belonging to that group, they are using the road the way they want and therefore sabotaging the traffic. So what is your say around there? Then this is just by the way, we have been facing a problem here to get your voice when you are speaking. Part of the money, did you use to buy these machines we have here? If so, are they of a good quality because your voice was breaking?
My name is Felix Kieme, working at Sunrise newspaper. This year allow me to ask my Sunrise newspaper. Allow me to ask my questions in Uganda because ordinary people out there they are in dilemma. Chairman, twali wano Madam Deputy n'atukkiriza okukozesa obuuma buno bukola mu process yemu y'okubukozesa tukisuula nti omuntu wa bulijjo ali eri ewaffe e Kalungu singa taatwala obuvunaanyizibwa kulaba nga basikaaninga obululu obwo obusatu nga babusikaaninga pointi beteeka bulungi nga babusikaaninga mu process ey'okumala okulonda kugenda kubeera mubekayinza naye mubadde nga musomesa buno obulunga bugenda okubeera amasini zinakola ensonga y'okusikaaninga bayitaninga ofiisi abamu baludde mu bifo ebyo myaka 5 ng'omanyi n'endowooza ez'ebyobufuzi ayinza okumanya nti mu myaka bironda kumpi n'asalawo deliberate tyakakuumula n'akumya nakulo n'abukuwa right of exercise nebubeera nga batuka okuba tebakolaki tebubalibwa mu bubwo akozeki obwabadde mu kitabo mwali babukuunyudde ne babumuwa naye process temumanyi ekibuuzo kimu kiyinza okukolebwa waliwo etteeka nti sobola omuwaalira kuba banaseremberawo zinonda noŋŋamba nti abalonzi abadde ebisatu gundi yafunyeko ekibiri mu 5 eyinza okuba omuntu wabulijjo alowooza nti awo akazannya awo wakati awo musikaaninga awo musikaaninga awo omukisikolifai wagamba nti omuntu yabaddewo naye tetubakira obuvunaanyizibwa mubadde omuntu wa bulijjo mubugire atunule nga basikaaninga kyejjawo weeri eri mu kyalo ng'atwala obuvunaanyizibwa ali nga basikaaninga akalubu ke eyo pointi nkulu kuba after 15 erimu obubuuzo ebigenda okubeera mu bantu nti nalonda naye saabitegeera ekikutu eky'obuyinza lwekiteera watunula mu history wa electoral commission yatandika mu 1958 nti nebajja nga balonda naye waliwo ekizibu kimu ekitayogerwako mu electoral commission kuba wano wafaayo n'ogamba abantu bakiragezi tebaddamu kukkiriza fundraising during what elections naye tulina emikwano eŋŋanda mu bitongole ebyokwerinda bikugamba nti bagenda omuwa assignment agenda akola omulimu APC baba bamulaalise transfer ne promotion ebyo tebyogerwako weyingira wano abantu mubeere bakakkamu naye amagye ne poliisi enyaniriza gyeyanirizamu okulonda si enyaniriza y'omuntu wa bulijjo bo batunuulira transfer promotion so eri point ebaisalagyamuyiriza nnyo kuba abapoliisi bakola tebakola nga bamanyi nti bonaabakaana okukola mukama wo kyakuwadde ero unit bakutwala akatera mayito teri ayagalayo bakutwala sisi teri ayagalayo so baagala mu bitundu nti nze komandinga eri eno bandabye nga bakuba abakiinamu so
ensonga eyo y'okuba nti n'ab'ebyokwerinda obulira bannaddiini nti commission n'ab'okwerinda bakulinze obugambe tubaletiko amanda oba n'ekifo okukama kundi omuntu w'amagye mugambe tubategetse eyo eriya yiyo webale nnyo.
Thank you very much. Just to say, I'm podiums that I work with the media. Very simple. I wanted to know what does the law say about it? Cadence who are being used in the national flag. I'm asking this because I've seen some debates about any cadence using the national flag is not allowed and the law that maybe can get us.
Waliwo ensonga y'obukonge. Obukonge engaba gye babugabamu waliwo ng'amawulire nayo nga babugabira mu owa RDC. Kituufu si kituufu kyandibadde nga babugabira wa RDC ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri obukonge bwonabwo tebumala. Otuuka olondera ogenda vidiyo ngagamba genda musinde kyate nekiteesa tebakusindiseemu ogenda kulonda tevidiyo kitegeeza tuweekanga ng'olondera Kampala akakonko ne kakulagira tulina kulondera ekintu ekyo kigerako ki?
Ekibuuzo kyange ensonga ya disqualification isi webanerangira nti abagala okwesimbawo muleete ebisaanyizo musuubira baleeta ebisaanyizo byabwe byonna isi nebiyitamu neverifyinga eba ne banominatinga naye ate muzino ennaku zino disqualification yesuuse kumpi buli kanaku wabeerawo bwa disqualifyinga obuzibu bwayagwa kati kinkambula ku nsonga eyo.
Thank you, Lord Chair and the Commission. My name is Ramson Mkiwe. I work with NBS TV. This is you're issuing registers to candidates. When are you doing that? How many are you issuing each candidate? You said the register shall be the basis for voting on that day. Those are your own words. We have the register being a basis, we have the machine being a basis, we also have the voter slip. Looks like the confusion is a lot. Then there is also a national ID. We're talking about the register, BVK machine, national ID, voter slip. You're confusing Ugandans. Can I come without a national ID, without a voter slip, and I come as I am? And I'm verified by the machine and I vote. Can you clarify what is the importance of the register on that day, the voter slip and the machine? About petitions, DC, from when you started, you have been receiving petitions, and now you're receiving petitions. You just said that yourself. You have made rulings. Rulings have been challenged. Some have been described as controversial. Do you find this as the most challenging election you have organized as the commission? Even the things that you have faced, petitions, abuses, the security issues out there, do you find this as the most challenging election that you have organized? Voting to go home, voting to protect the votes. The law talks about 20 meters. The commission has told people vote and go home. The CDF has told people, vote and go home. The law tells people, vote and stand 20 meters. As the electoral commission, from what law did you draw that statement of vote and go home? And in your own words, would you say that it is illegal? Would the person be doing the wrong thing for them to vote and stand 20 meters? If they choose. Thank you, Chair.
Ekibuuzo ky'omaze okubuuza tokiddamu buuza ekikyo Luganda, if a question has been asked, don't repeat it to say that as I've said already. Please speak to the mic.
Sorry.
Kozesa akazinda
Omuntu okwesimbawo era ayinza kukozesa ennyo akakasa n'atuuka ne bamugamba nti bamuwandiddewo
On guest Godwin Mark from UBC, Justice and the rest of the commission, protocol court. So I want to thank you for the civic education levels that you tried to do. They've really been good so far. But however, my main concern goes to the side of the marginalized groups. You have got the marginalized groups. I don't know, for example, the blind, the deaf, plus the PWDs. So a layman out there, deep down there, would wonder if at all he or she is part of the marginalized groups, they would like to know to what level or to what extent has the civic education been done to them. Sure. Thank you so much.
just perhaps for reference, they are not called, we don't have a group called mesmerized. There is no mesmerized group, they are called special interests. I think that's what you wanted to say, please.
Good morning. I'm called the Vegan Grocer from Palestine. Mr. Chairman, when we were here, we were taught about the machine that we are going to use during the election. And you told us that there are some people who
Let us try to listen to the questions, please. Let's have one press briefing here. So the people behind there were making noise, please don't.
My question is internet Uganda. Mr. Chairman, kati njagala okumala ku muwendo omutuufu ogw'abantu abasomesiddwa akuuma kano akagenda okuba nga katuyambako mu kulonda kubanga bwe twalibwa mu twasembayo kubanga tuwulira nti mulina abantu bemusomesa. So twali tuukira akaseera kano akasomesa abantu bameka abagenda okuba nga bayamba ku PlayStation zonna zonna ez'eggwanga.
Good afternoon, Ssentebe Ssebo tweyanziza. Ekibuuzo kyange kiri ku nsonga ey'obukonge. Tulabye ku mikutu gya mugattabanzirwanga kuva kootini. Tulabyeko obukonge ku mikutu egya social media ng'omuntu omu alabikira obukonge bubiri. Ate ng'amannya ge gamu naye nga mulimu obuntu butono nnyo features ezaawukana naye ng'omuntu y'omu yennyininyini. Ensonga eyo mugyogerako ki olwabbanga mwagirabyeko?
Thank you. Lord, sentiment those you. You was in what day? Not yet. You much are you? Oh, okay. Okay. Bagenda ku mwaka tubibuuza. Mugenda kusaba kale.
Can you see me from here? No. Yes. How many times did you have okay, one minute. One man.
Now one madam.
Oh, very good. Wherever it is. Let me start with the last question. First from let me start with the question. Is it possible in life or in Uganda to have people with the same name? Is it possible? Is it possible for those who have the same names to have the same date of birth? No. You also not agree. It is possible. Possible to have the same name, the same date of birth. But the facial features are different. The king, is it possible to have the same people having the same thumbprint? And we are saying every voter is going to be biometrically identified using the thumbprint or the facial. We have looked at some of these things that have been possible. And we just look at people bearing the same name, same date of birth, that is all. The facial appearance is different. The polling location is different. We have seen. So for us, we are saying, as far as the commission is concerned, the fundamental distinguishing mark of future will be the biometrics, the thumbprint. Because we are told scientifically, you cannot have two people sharing a So, we want to assure the people of Uganda that the features, the biometric system we have introduced is going to address all those. Nobody will be allowed to vote more than once. And it is possible for people to share names and dates of birth, but you cannot share your fingerprints. That's what we are told scientifically. So that will be what we sort out. Who is Yabakama Mugenyi, the born on this day, Yabakama Mugenyi, born on this day? Are they two different Yabakama Mugenyis or are they the same? So that will be sorted out. And in the database of the National Voter Registry, we have the thumbprint of every voter. If we don't have the thumbprint, by mistake or by whatever, during the registration of the mirror, if your thumbprint was not captured or it cannot read, at least your face should be there. Because you go to national ID, if you go to national ID, it means mirror took your photograph, they stored your photograph in the National Information Register database. That's the one we utilized to register you as a voter if you are 18 years or above. So to me, that's not a challenge. That's not a challenge. Now, when the people have been trained, we informed the country through the media here that one, we trained our personnel here at ECM voters, those in the field who are going to be the managers of this process. We recruited 1,053 citizens. Those citizens whom we have trained are going to train the 50,739 BVVK operators, then 50,739 presiding officers, so about 100,000 plus, who are going to be operating this BVVK kit at the polling station. So that training program is still ongoing. We first go to the trainers who we train. These trainers now will train the operators who are going to be deployed at every polling station with a kit. So we have very, very alert and alive to the fact that for this scheme to operate efficiently and optimally, the people going to operate the grid must be well trained, well equipped with know-how in order to render service that's required to operationalize this grid efficiently. Marginalized groups, well, we know this is a challenge indeed. We work through the various groups in those areas where the persons with disabilities are located, and we form our field officers to have programs to reach out to them. You see, the issue of persons with disabilities, first of all, you must know where to find them, where to locate them. Secondly, you cannot invite them to one place or location in order to voter educate them, because some of them need to come with helpers and so on and so forth. And to do that, therefore, is an expense that has to be incurred. But we make every effort to ensure every citizen who is an eligible voter is not left out on voter education, sensitization, and mobilization by the Commission. Now, I'll talk generally about the questions I think that have been raised by a number of people. The issues that have been observed or noted, which was ample time, can go through or escape through. That's why the law says, let other people come and look at these papers and see whether they were okay or whether there were issues. So one is to find them why. Otherwise, the law would have said once the commission has accepted the nomination of an individual, therefore, that nomination has become more vigilant. Voters have become more vigilant. Candidates have become more vigilant in scrutinizing the papers of people who have been nominated. They have about over 400 or something, 300, between 300 and 400. People are more vigilant now. And therefore, to me, that is okay because you are following the law in scrutinizing or inspecting the papers and pointing out any anomalies. Other than going to the media and then you attack somebody, Yasoma, I looked at his or her papers, I find he did not have A level, do not have this, and so on and so forth. They are following to support their nomination. We have support their nomination. We have been giving them here. But they don't turn up. They refuse, even when we inform them, they don't show up. And even in the courts of law, there is a procedure. If it is proved that you were notified or served that you are required to appear in court on a day for your case that you don't show up, and there is sufficient proof that the case can be had expected without your presence, and the court will decide the case expected without your presence, and the court will decide the case on the basis. Any complaints regarding what transpired during polling day, then that for them to decide. That's why you have election petitions filed challenging the outcome of an election. I think I've answered that one. Now on the go home or stay matter or aspect. First of all, the commission works in line with the law. The commission is alive and aware of that provision of the law that says voters and stand 20 meters out from the polling station. We have said, be that as it may, equal realities. One, in 2020, we had some polling stations who, no, 2021, sorry. We had some polling stations. I had thought I would come with the statistics here, but I look for my paper, I'll get it and be able to share it with the public. Where some polling stations, the Electoral Commission was not able to declare or to announce the results. Why? Because the people who had gathered around the polling station started some altercation or some kavuyo, either fight among themselves, or it was deliberately organized or orchestrated, and in the process of this altercation between themselves, they invaded the polling station, they grabbed the ballot box, they destroyed the materials, and therefore there was nothing the Electoral Commission could either count or declare at that polling station. Secondly, in 2020, we also received reports in some polling stations. There were a number of people who were around and their conduct was intimidating. They were intimidating some voters whom they perceived to be voting for a particular candidate or party. We have that also. There's one of them, I talked to one of the Ugandans who told me, I think he was voting for a polling station in Rosera, that he was making he said there is a group of very hostile youth, I don't want to mention the party, they say, that man said they belong to, who are scaring voters. You come, they look at you with the eyes, hostile eyes, and so on. So this man said, for me, I would die with some of them. He got a hammer, put it in his jacket, and then proceeded to the polling station. When they tried to intimidate them, he said, for me, you play with me. Before you finish me, I will finish some of you. Now, you see, thirdly, we have also said, in some of these polling stations, especially in urban areas, the places are so squeezed. They are so small. That even the distance, if you look at the law prescribes the distance between the first table, the second table, and the third table. The law says the distance between the first table where the voters report and where the BVV kit and the ballot papers are should be the next table where the polling takes place from where the person is, should be 15 meters from that first table. Then from this second table where the person is to the third table where the ballot box is, it should be 10 meters. Then from that one to where the person who is supposed to ink your thumb or whatever it is should be 10 meters. When you look at some of these polling stations, that distance is not even adequate to be strictly adhered to. Now, we say, if a polling station has 600 voters and they all turn up to vote, really, you tell them to hang around. Yes, the law says they can hang around 20 meters. But even implementing that will be a challenge because of lack of space. So either people may crowd on the road, which is leading the polling station, or they may find themselves positioned in such a way that they will not observe the 20 meters from this polling table. I'm just saying that might go one, it might, and another point we want to point out, or we want people to appreciate. You have 8 presidential candidates. Each one of them has agents. You have 5 or 10 members of parliament, candidates for parliament. Each is entitled to 2 agents. Women member of parliament, they are about 4 or 5. In this sense, you have at one polling station in total about, on average, 15 candidates. Those are already 30 agents. Ladies and gentlemen, already there is a crowd at the polling station. And those are allowed inside the polling station, the agents. The people who are pushing for the people to remain around are saying that you have to remain around to protect our vote, to safeguard our vote. That is the reason they are pushing that keep around so that you protect or safeguard the vote. But we are saying, if your concern is protection of the vote or safeguarding the vote, then there are already people who are authorized in law to do that. And these are the agents of the candidates. And those are the agents who are already allowed inside the polling station, right from the hour the polling station opens until counting, until close of the polling station. You have certain agents. Those are more than enough protectors. Then you have observers. You have accredited observers and accredited agents, not political parties. You already have enough. Then we also say, look at it this way. You have people supporting different candidates. It's a high octane election. The stakes are so high. Every voter believes in the strength of his or her candidate. You are telling these people to be in one place from morning until evening. How are you going to maintain the order among these people? How will you prevent arguments and disagreements breaking out among them? How will you prevent them from exchanging blows or becoming violent? As one seeks to say, we have won you, we have defeated you, we are winning here, and an argument. Before you know it, there's a terrible argument, physical fight, and then the materials or the polling station is disrupted. So that's why for us as a commission, we are saying that it would be appropriate if people first went home, so that you will leave room for those who have not yet voted to come and vote. Then when the time for counting comes, you can come and stand at the 20 meters and be able to observe how the counting is taking place. But to keep people who subscribe to different political parties, who support different candidates in one place for so many hours, and you tell me that they are going to be civil, they are going to be calm, like we are in a church setting where they say sit down, then you sit. Let us sing this hymn, then you sing. Let us pray, you all pray. Who is going to have that kind of order implemented? So that's why we are saying the commission should not be misunderstood. Let me repeat. The commission should not be misunderstood. When we advise people to first go home, we are saying we want a peaceful election. We want to give an opportunity to every voter to turn up and vote. Can we live a free environment? Can we create a free atmosphere around the polling station that will allow every voter to feel at liberty to come? Because some of them are easily put off, like the elderly, like the women, and so on. They are easily put off by the hostile, charged environment at the polling station. We have noticed that. So please, that's what we are saying. If we are interested in a free and fair election, if we are interested in a process that is peaceful, and if we are trying to avoid, eliminate, or prevent the possible disruptions that may arise because of so many people who support different candidates being gathered together, you don't even know what some of them are drinking. You see people coming with the plastic bottles, you don't know what stuff they are put there. We are saying, please, let us not cause unnecessary disruption. The law permits you, but be mindful of the current environment and what is likely to unfold if we are not very cognizant of the issues that we have to address. Okay, now, this is very important. Listen to this. Someone asked, I think it was my brother Muhiro from MTV. You are talking of the National Voters Register. You are talking of BBVK. You are talking of National ID. Then VLS. This is all confusing Ugandans, which is ladies and gentlemen, the law says for you to be a voter, you must be a registered voter, you must be on the National Voters Register. So the foundation of the exercise of one's constitutional right to vote is in the national, your presence on the National Voters Register. Are you a registered voter? Yes. Are you in the National Voters Register? Yes. Are you assigned a police station? Yes. Now, this foundation gives rise to certain offshoots. One of them is the BVVK. That is an offshoot from National Voters Register. Whoever is not on the National Voters Register will not be on the BVVK. If your particulars are not on the National Voters Register, they will not be found on the BVVK. That's a starting point. Secondly, if your particulars are not on the National Voters Register, when we are printing the voter registration slips, you won't get a voter registration slip because the voter registration slip is derived from the data on the National Voters Register. Thirdly, the national ID is not issued by EC, issued by MEDIA. It is issued to persons who are confirmed citizens of Uganda. And if that citizen at the time of registration was 18 years or above, then he or she indicated where that is a willing or he or she is a willing voter. The particulars of that voter will be captured on the National Voters Register because the law permits us to do that. So when you come with your national ID, which has that barcode, we shall swipe it using this chip, and then you are confirmed that yes, you are a voter on the National Voter List. But even then, the starting point is that you must be on the National Voter List. So the National Voters Register is the foundation, and all these are just offshoots. So there's no confusion. Just wanted to make that. But these other things were introduced, like the VLS, as I say, to expedite the process of identifying and confirming the voter. But if you come, you do not get your national, the VLS, or you have lost your national ID, you will not be chased away. And as I say, the important thing to say, I am Biabakama Mugeni. This is why I voted from 2021. Then the presiding officer will get the register, check for your name, if you are there on the register, in the register, and if you confirm your name is in the register, then they will take you through the process of the BVVK, as I explained. It is really in the rules, in the regulations here. And if you vote at that VLS or national ID, this is what's going to happen. So the RACs, the basic record for you to be allowed to vote is the National Voters Register. So those who have the LOS, come. You have a national ID, come. You don't have any of those, come. But you know that this is where you want. Are you a registered voter? And you know, you confirm that you are voting for this polling station. We shall check in the register. If you are not there, do not be checked. But we have also said we are going to introduce a barcode in the national voter list against the name of every voter, so that if you say I'm Operodiums, they get the kid, swipe against the barcode on your against your name of the register, then your features will come up, then you are confirmed. I think I've answered the issue. Yeah, the VLS is being issued from other district officer. I wish you could tell me which district, tell us which district is that. Then we shall call our returning officer, because we have issued clear guidelines on how and who should distribute those VLSs. It's not RDC, but our parish supervisors. They are the ones who are supposed to have those VLSs, move with the register, with the book where the recipient of the VLS is supposed to sign or thumbprint, confirming that I have received my VLS. But if you tell us the district where you saw this taking place, please inform us. We shall call our returning officer to have that corrected. And we are going to tell them also, maybe to pass on more information to the public, informing them where they should get their voter location slip. Now, on the issue of people using the national flag, I must confess as a commissioner, I will not address myself to that because I have not received any formal complaint or petition regarding the issue of people using the, but I see people using the national flag when they are going for football matches. I see them doing all those things, putting on national flag and so on. I will have to look at the law critically and see what it says. But what I know, The law, I think, prohibits you if you are registered in a political party. You are not, if you are registered in a political party, I think you are not supposed to use the national flag or the logo as part of your party paraphernalia or identity features. But on usability, day-to-day use, I think that one we have to study carefully and advise the country accordingly. Sunrise News is saying, what I can see, there might be a plot by some either presiding officers not to scan the ballot paper of Dr. Simba when he comes. They give it to him without scanning it, goes and votes, puts it in. When it comes to counting, the machine will reject it. It was not scanned first time. How did it get into the box? That's the question. One, well, human beings are human beings. We don't expect this one. But secondly, and let me emphasize the importance of agents. That is the role, that's the work of agents. The agents are supposed to make sure that every ballot paper that has been issued has been by the operator or presiding officer. That is their work. We have to train these agents for candidates freely when we are training our polling officials. So the agents should be on the lookout. The candidates should warn or should urge their agents to be on the lookout, such that every ballot paper is scanned. If I know this is my polling station, it is in my sub-county, and my sub-county is my stronghold. I expect to win this polling station by more than 90%. I think it will be incumbent on me to warn my agent. Please make sure that every ballot paper is scanned. And you know what the law says? The law, these agents are very special people, by the way, because even the law says the agents should sit in such a manner that they are able to observe what is taking place at the first table. They don't say agents sit 20 meters away, as these people are told, wait, stand 20 meters. Yeah. Well, your law is not very pertinent, but agents should sit in such a manner that they are able to observe what is taking place at the first table, where the BBVK machine is and where the ballot papers are being issued for. They should sit. They don't subscribe. The law does not subscribe the distance at which agents should sit. They should sit. If they have to sit 1 meter away from that table, because that's how they can easily properly observe what is going on, so be it. So that's why we say all these concerns of people. If we not bagenda kubobu, we not tigenda kuyekita. Abakuumi we bali already. Ate bakirizibwa mu mateeka. Ate balina okutuula mu ngeri n'ebasomeseza okulabira ddala kiki ekigenda mu maaso ku mmeeza wali akuuma ku mmeeza wali obululu. Bwe bakyetaagisa batuule half meter okuva ku mmeeza eyo bwe balina okutuula. Basobole okulaba bulungi. Sabo bakuumi bammwe bassebo bannyo, be bakuumi bammwe go. Be balina okumanya nti byabakama obwazze ddala ekinkumu kye akuuma kakikkiriza oba kamugaana. Akalulu kabamuwadde basoose okakakasa n'akuuma oba nedda. Agenti ba agenti bali 30, bali 20 oba bameka. Mfatu bangambye ebitundu bibiri bayinza okubeera n'enkaaga. N'obwali bakanditsi bali 20 palamenti gatako ba pulezidenti oza kwesanga ba agents bali nkaaga. Abo tebamala basemuka. Nolwekyo, and therefore, that one will not happen, but the agents should be on the lookout to make sure once the ballots, which the votes which candidate X who is strong in that area would have got and might be played around with, does not happen using that machine. Yes. In the show, yes, secondly, When we have scanned those ballots, then we also ascertain how many have not been utilized. All that is provided for the polling station. Presiding officer ina correct Twitter accountability. Ubabase nga butuufu, ubabase nga bufu, even invalid ballots of votes are supposed to be accounted for. How do you want the process to be transparent? Because for me, I think the Ugandan electorals have ingrained in transparency, ensuring transparency is upheld, observed at every level of the electoral processes. Okay. I didn't get this one. I'm looking for transfer promotion. What I can say, law enforcement agencies are supposed to ensure law and order are maintained or observed or upheld. Period. And if there is anyone who acts in breach of the law, be it an ordinary individual or a law enforcement officer, the law should catch up with those individuals themselves. Nobody is above the law. The issue of a candidate sitting on the road, I have not seen this one. Secondly, can you listen? When a candidate is said to have acted outside the law, people are at liberty to petition the commission. People are at liberty to petition the commission saying this candidate has been acting like this. If any candidate, because for us all candidates are the same, and the guidelines we issue concern or affect all of them without any discrimination, without any effect. So if any particular candidate goes on the road in the middle of the road and sits and says, I'm doing this because I'm a candidate, is outside the law, and therefore people, whoever has observed that, raise it with the commission, and we shall take it up. How much money have we got? I cannot tell you the exact figure of the money government has given us, but what I can say, so far, they have given us the required funds to run the activities that we are doing, that we have done, and the activities that we are yet to conduct. Government has given us those funds. Who is eligible voter? I think I've explained this. Anyone who is on the voters register is eligible, provided you're on the voters. And let me emphasize, I've been saying this. If you got a national ID, you are registered with the mayor. But you do not express willingness to vote. You do not indicate that I'll be voting from this polling station in the parish where I come from or where I reside. You will not be on the national voters list. So if you come on polling day to a polling station with your national ID, there in the village where the polling station is based, you will be subjected to the same process. BVVK, what not? If you are found not being on the voters register, though you have a national ID and you are 25 or 30 years old, you will not vote. However, if you don't have a national ID and you are the national voters register, you will vote because you are the national voters register. So that is the fundamental, I think, difference. Then as I conclude, voter education, yes, voter education. You know, we assess the methods of voter education we use at every given election and the impact it has created. And realize it is not enough merely a track run through from here to Masaka, then to Mbarara, then back to Kampala, and they have done voter education. Voter education should be more impactful, more incisive. So that's why I'm not seeing those reads this time. We say, let's take a different approach. Let us use more of the media. Let us use more of these, gatherings where our people go and address the people and vote educate them and take questions. which we found was not happening when these rigs were just running through. Stopping at trading center and not going to the villages, and so on. So we said, no, can we adopt a different methodology? So we, as the few remaining days, we are going to urge our people officers to increase on water education and make sure that we reach as many people as possible. Now, on the section of the Electoral Commission Act that talks of May. Is it right? Yes, you are right. Subsection 2 of may adopt technology, and we have done that. We have adopted technology in our elections by introducing one, the biometric voter verification system, and secondly, by introducing the ERTDS, electronic results transfer system. Now, these rules or regulations which the minister signed the other day are specifically tailored on the use of the kit, the DBVK only. And because of what the DBVK, the reasons behind the introduction of DBVK, because of the reasons behind the introduction of DBVK, to avoid ballot stuffing, to avoid multiple voting, to avoid miscounting and so on and so forth. That's why in the instrument it has been mentioned that in order to give full meaning and purpose to the introduction of DBVK, these procedures shall be followed or abided by. There is no contradiction, therefore, between the main act and this structural instrument. It's not there. It's not there. I don't see it. The other one says you may adopt technology. Okay? We have adopted technology. Not wholly. Remember, technology is vast. For example, there's electronic voting. We have not introduced electronic voting. But we are saying, for the technology we have produced so far, and given the major purpose of having this kit at the polling station and what is intended to address, let it be explicitly and holistically used in using and following the same processes. That's why we are saying this shall be followed. So there is no contradiction between the main act and the regulations in that regard. Because now it is not left to the presiding officer to say, this Kinkumu cannot read for 2 times. Give him a ballot paper. He goes, no, you shall. If the Kinkumu cannot read, then you shall do this. If this one cannot happen, then you shall do this. That's why the word shall has been introduced here. It does not contradict the main. Because if this word shall was in the main act, then to remain, you bring in electronic voting, you bring in everything, then to remain, even you abolish the register, you use for everything is electronic, everything is digital. No, that's why we say we may use whatever we think this can work for us. Technology can work for us here. Yes, we can produce technology. That's what that. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, if the machine fails to work, what measures? We are mindful of the possibility of one kit not function. So that's why we say every polling station will have 2 kits to avoid the disaster or the challenges of the one kit not be or ceasing operative or having operational malfunction. So 2 kits. In the case the second kit, in an unlikely event of the second kit also not working, we shall have our teams of IT. We shall have our IT teams on standby to be called in to go and rectify these kits so that polling voting starts. But one of the things we were very, very cautious of is the duration of the battery. Duration of the battery. And the manufacturer was given strict instructions that battery should last how many hours, Peter? 18 hours. Now polling lasts about 9 hours. 9 days or 9 to 10 hours. This battery is supposed to last 18 hours per kit. And secondly, each kit has a power bank. So really, the issue of power is not a challenge. The issue of malfunctioning, standby kit. If the standby also has a problem, our standby technical people will be on hand to address it. Voter education, I think I've answered the issue of voter education. Whether I think this is the most challenging election, let me tell you, every election has its peculiar challenge. In 2021, because you asked me the elections I've organized, 2021 elections which my colleagues, some of my colleagues and I organized, had COVID. They were in the midst of the COVID epidemic. That was very challenging. So this one, by the way, the elections of 2026, the major challenge is on the bad manners we can with some people. The major challenge is the commission faces in these elections is the bad manners of some people. Period. Bad manners. But if everybody was well behaved, good mannered, law abiding, and following what we are saying, there will be no problem at all. Bad manners. That's the biggest challenge. NPC, ekizibu kisinga yo challenge ekisomooza ekisingirayo ddala mu nteekateeka yaffe ebyokulonda. So, but I want to say every election has some particular challenges, and njagala kakati abantu, that's what you go to sharpen the eye. Balabi nnyo kati ku byokulonda, abantu baagala kutegeera ddala gundi mwami mugerwa yeesimbyewo ayina ebisaanyizo oba byakimpapiira. Batunula kati nnaade wegendereze era kati ndowooza 23 abagenda kwesimba bagenda kwegendereza. Tugala galeeta olupapula signature teziriiwo naye nga n'oleeta n'oteekayo ng'ate naruli byayitamu bwe bityo nedda ssebo kati abantu balaba nnyo eriiso litoola oweke wegendereze n'oleeta olupapula empapula z'obuyigirize naawe okimanyi naye olupapula luno nawe nawe muto shoka buzobu tuwe mukinya kubugwe kasetambula naye shoka buzobu ati kiraga zeetaaga replacement empapula zo zeetaaga ku replacement lwaki tozireplacement tunagenda abantu kati balaba nnyo munna. How many of you, by the way, now this I'm coming to the critical thing that according to what is happening, you seem to be targeting candidates. We don't target any candidate because he or she belongs to this party or not. Please. Our decisions are purely based on evidence presented before us and the law governing whatever electoral activity is being challenged. I repeat, ensalawo yaffe tetuteeka liiso kubanga gundi bwe kibiina bwe kiti oba bwe kiti. Tusinziira ku bujulizi obuleeteddwa amateeka kye gagamba kyekyoka kye tulaba. Oyinza okwesanga ate n'ekyokubiri waliwo bagamba nti waliwo ab'ebibiina ebivuganya betusitama nti kuno petition temuli asigaleyo abeereyo tubalina mwagala tubawo wino yonna kale olujja tugenda bala nti twafuna petition bweti yali fulanga beera twagala gamuggyemu ne tugaana ne tufuna petition bweti ne tugaana. Juzi baali baagala tuggyemu bagundi bano nakawa division west baawa ne tugamba nti basigaleyo tuyinze kooti oba nekiziganya naffe ate nekyoku Etteeka liga nti kakiiko bwe kama kuwesa oli n'atamatira yeyongere mu kooti. That's what the rule of law is all about. That's what fairness is all about. That's what justice is all about. That your door is not shut by the commission. You can go to the courts of law. We don't get in court. To the court, you have to start a home. They don't need you. Bana the batufuma, the batufuma, the second one. Court where Sarah. Sat there, we run by this job. Anyway, we see what you will do. We accept that. So anyway, it's not true we are targeting any particular political party. As I said, we don't generate these petitions. Everyone is given a hearing, and the decision is based on the law and the evidence as we interpret it. I think ebibuuzo biweteyo basebo ne bannyabo mwebale nnyo kumpuliriza mbaagaliza omwaka omupya ogw'emirembe mbasaba temugenda mu bivulo temulya nnyo temunywa nnyo ate mwerabira ne mulwagula ekya beetaaga musigale muli balamu Mukama bakuume God bless you.